The San Antonio Marshals have been put through the ringer this year. It has been a wild year, but a lot of guys have been healthy, and we've made some noise. 11-5 and an opportunity to win our next 3 games. And if we win those, we're Super Bowl champions. If we lose any of them, we're going home pretty unhappy. Now, 4 of our most important players are going to be designed for upgrades this week. So we've got Sean Davis, of course. We're going to go ahead and do field general for him. We could go run stopper, but I feel like we really want to make sure that he has his field general stuff up the most. So +1 to block shedding, man coverage, speed, tackle, and zone coverage. I'll take that for sure. Up next is Colton Johnson III. We got a deep threat, physical route runner and slot. I want to improve his route running. I feel like that's a place that he needs to get a whole lot better. He gets 3 upgrades here, +1 to medium route and stiff arm, and +3 to short route. Again, I'm happy with that, and I'll take it. A guy that I feel like everyone forgets about and they don't really understand how good of a player he is Jermaine Cook. Now, he's really good at run stopper, but I want to improve his speed rushing ability. Off the edge, this guy is a monster, or at least should be, so he gets +3 to finesse moves. Again, if he can get to the quarterback more often, that helps us out a ton. And lastly, we have Kavion Abbott, one of the most important players for our team. So we have Scrambler, Field General, Strong Arm, and Improviser. We're going Strong Arm here. Again, I need some throw power. I need some better accuracy on medium and deep routes. He gets +1 to awareness, throw accuracy deep, throw accuracy mid, and throw under pressure. That is a sign of things that we definitely needed right there. So to recap how guys on our team actually did, Kavion Abbott ended up throwing for 2,099 yards, 25 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Tyler King had a solid year, but his injury obviously held him back a little bit. He did come back and play some, but Kavion Abbott was the right choice. He played better, he was more efficient, and honestly, I think he's the future of this team. On the ground, Dwayne Kilgore ran for a career-high 1,676 yards with 13 touchdowns. Finally, he stays healthy. Look what he did. Chris Sapp also broke 1,000 yards receiving for the first time in his career with 1,160 yards and 13 touchdowns. Yeah, we didn't start him for a long period of time because we kind of messed up, and he got injured briefly, but the games he did play in, he was a monster for us. Don't forget about Colton Johnson III, 850 yards with 8 touchdowns. Ron Sampson, almost 700 yards on 5 grabs for a touchdown. DeAndre Bryant, again, a monster in the red zone with 8 touchdowns. Kilgore got involved in the passing game a little bit. Hardman really was the guy that fell by the wayside, and Pack did what he had to do. Great blocking in the run game, had a couple of touchdowns we needed him to, and our guy Cedric caught 2 as well. And then we have down here Richard Shepard, 2 grabs, one of them for a touchdown. You know what? That's sufficient. On defense, there's one guy to talk about for sure. It is Sean Davis, who had the most tackles he's ever had in his NFL career in one season. 116, 8 of those for loss, 11.5 sacks, 7 interceptions. That is, in my opinion, the single best season by any defensive player ever. I mean, look at what he did. Over 100 tackles, that many sacks, that many interceptions, and he had a touchdown too. Incredible work by him. Aaron Stokes had 94 tackles as a corner, which is a little scary, but it is what it is. 2 interceptions for him. Taylor Rapp came on this year, strong force, replacing guy Nasir Adderley, 88 tackles for him. Crockett was 77 at safety. We saw Jalen Williams ball out. Jermaine Cook, again, underrated, 64 tackles. He had 11.5 sacks and 1 interception. Again, no one talks enough about how good he is. Only 1 year in the league already, and the kid is so talented. So again, our sack leaders are tied there at Sean Davis and Jermaine Cook. Behind them is Greer Shorp, who finally had a breakout season for himself. 6 sacks for Leslie Rudd, 3.5 by William Rudd. Dillard had 3. We had 1.5 by Cody Barton and by Denzel Apollon. Then 1 sack by Jalen Williams, Quan Alexander, Charles Mangoni, and Javon Hargrave, with 1/2 a sack by Stephon Crockett and Devon Ordway. Again, Ordway wasn't there to really get sacks. He was there to plug up the middle and create a lot of double teams and singles opportunities for other people, and he did just that. And again, interceptions, Sean Davis led us there. 4 by Jalen Williams, 2 by Dillard and Aaron Stokes. Then we had 1 by Cook, Rapp, Darby, and then Sean Callaway. Just to give you a look at the entire NFL, so James Bauer had the most passing yards of anybody. Your touchdown passing leader was Connor Graham, tied with Baker Mayfield at 38, with Damian Telfer right behind him with 37. Your rushing leader was Dwayne Kilgore. Again, for the first time in his career crossing 1,000 yards, he blew past that and then some. 1,600 yards is nothing to shake a stick at. Kilgore also tied with Kareem Hunt for the most rushing touchdowns this season with 13, with Barkley and Santiago right behind them at 12. And the guy we forgot about a lot when we were in Columbus was Terry McLaurin. We thought about trading him a couple of times, but look at what he did. 1,234 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns. He had one of the best receiving years of his career so far. And Christian Kirk was the only guy to beat out Chris Sapp for receiving touchdowns. He had 15 this year. Again, wild numbers for him. While Sean Davis had a lot of tackles, he had nowhere close to what Devin Bush had with 151 for him. Ben Burr-Kirvin had a ton with 126. Kelvin Blackwell, Devin White, Blake Martinez, and Jalen Smith were all ahead of Sean Davis. But again, I feel like Sean Davis had one of the best years because that dude wasn't too far back from the sack leader. Myles Garrett had 24.5. I think that's the record, if I remember correctly. Khalil Mack with 18, Carl Lawson with 13, Darius Hall, who we saw in the draft a couple years ago or 2 years ago now, and then Dwayne Morris up there as well with 12.5, and then Jermaine Cook and Sean Davis right behind them. And then from an interception perspective, Sean Davis tied with Marshawn Lattimore, one of the best corners in the NFL. Give that man his Offensive Player of the Year trophy. He earned it. But look, that 11-5 record is out the door now. It is time for our team with our young rookie quarterback, with our young squad all over the entire field to dominate today's game. Mangoni, you got to step up. Kayvon Abbott, you got to step up. Dwayne Kilgore, you got to stay healthy and step up. We need this team to come out here and shine today. So we're going to see our team on defense. At first, San Fran's going to have the ball with the running back in the backfield right beside their quarterback at home. And he's going to bring a guy over in motion. Looking to get over at the running back. Okay, he's juking all kinds of different directions, and we'll take that with Jermaine Cook on the tackle for a loss. It looks like that upgrade we gave him of run stopper ended up paying off because he just got a nice tackle for a loss of 5. Holman moves under center now. They put their guy in the backfield. Laporte's going to make some moves. Okay, he looks way better than he looked on that first carry. Can we get a stop? It's way too late. I mean, maybe that dude was just a little bit nervous, but what a run. First and 10 now. They're on the right side of the 50. Thought it was a play action. They go to the fullback, and I don't even know how to pronounce his name, but Justin, he killed us. We blitzed a couple of times here. We've been unsuccessful stopping the run. We're going to try it again. They've yet to actually pass the ball today, which is kind of wild. And they go right back to the fullback, but we stop him after about 2. This definitely feels like a pass play here.
I got a bad feeling about this.
It's not. They ran it again. I mean, they are just going after the run non-stop here. And I mean, honestly, I don't really blame them because it's been really, really effective. We're just throw Dillard on this one. They go for the underneath route. That was actually going to work. They break the tackle and Davis comes in, but not before they pick up 9. I mean, it kind of feels like we're out here attacking a college offense right now. A lot of trick plays so far, a lot of misdirection, but finally a stop in the backfield by Greer Short. Feeling pretty good right now, 2nd and 12. Inching that line again to try to make it a little bit tougher to run, but Laporte is finding ways to get through holes so quickly now. That's going to make it 3rd down and 1 right now. San Fran again knocking on the doorstep and getting into the end zone. We do not want to give up a first drive touchdown, but look at Short come in with a big sack. See, that's Barton. Barton coming off the edge with a big sack, and we needed that 4th and 10. Kick the field goal already. All right, Darby, a block here would be great. Super Mario is not out there, however. I think he's actually passed Darby in the depth chart, which is kind of wild to think about. That one's going to be up. That is perfectly down the middle. And San Fran takes the early lead, 3-0. All right, Abbott and Kilgore in the backfield. Surprisingly, Kilgore is not already tired. We're going to get this game started off strong. Kilgore looking to find some moves here. Jukes the guy out of his shoes and picks up a chunk there. That's 20 yards on his first touch. You want to take pressure off your young rookie quarterback. You get a big run like that with your running back, and you're going to do a whole lot better today. Davion Abbott taking his time. Got a guy, throws out here to Colton Johnson, who's going to catch that, breaks the tackle, spins out of bounds, and picks up a big 18. Back-to-back incredible plays by the team so far. Kilgore, the only guy in the backfield this time. He's going to try to get out to the edge. He's got a guy in front, jukes him out of his shoes, goes for another, gets tackled by 2, and picks up 7 big yards. I take it back. That was a whole lot more yards than 7, but I have no idea how many it was, so just deal with it. Here we go. 1st and 10 again. Abbott all advised lonesome. Throws a ball that should have been caught, but his receiver can't find it. That was a tough one because it looks like he had Deron Sampson pretty much wide open there, but he was unable to find that one at the last second. 2nd and 10 now. Abbott again throws it over here. Sapp with a nice toe tap, and he gets 14 on that catch. That puts him inside the red zone now. You got Sapp over here on the left-hand side. We're actually going to put Sapp on a fade route now, see what he can do. Sees him on the inside. He goes up, and Chris Sapp, ladies and gentlemen, another one. Technically it's the first one, but I feel like there's more coming. Chris Sapp goes up, catches it. It wasn't the Moss attribute being activated, but pretty much he looked like Randy Moss on that one. When we're looking here, again, high point ball. That was caught, gets both feet down at the last second. If you're saying, Fran, what else can you do? You got a guy on the inside, you got a guy on the outside, but Chris Sapp is just that much better on the 21-yard touchdown. Now, San Fran struggled with the ball, so they ended up punting it out, goes into the end zone for a touchback, and we have it here from our own 20. Hands it off to Kilgore. Kilgore's trying to find his room here. Picks up. It looks to be about 9 or 10 on that carry. The offense has worked really well so far. They've managed the game fairly well. Kilgore is not getting overused. He's getting enough touches, and the offense is moving strongly because of it. And, well, Abbott, however, we may have jinxed him as he gets a bad sack there for a whole lot of yards. So after being on 2nd and inches, we are now here on 3rd and 10 after a loss of about 10 or so. Brian going across the middle as well as Chris Sapp on this one. They're the two main routes to be looking for. Chris Sapp, however, is going to see a bad ball thrown. It is easily picked off by Delira, and our defense has got some work to do. The 4-point lead, things are a little testy right now. We've got to do better. The bad pick there by Abbott here in the playoffs. Hallman's going to be underneath center now. They go for the quick check down at Greg Kittle, and Kittle's going to get that one for about 7. And bringing a heavy front here. We're going to pinch the line a little bit. Watch what they do out of the backfield. Feels like a pretty much guaranteed run here. Go for that, and Sean Davis sniffs it out immediately right the line. Major play coming up here. Got 3rd and 3 coming up. Got to watch Laporte out of the backfield. Go for a stretch run. Taylor Rapp is going to be there, and Sean Davis gets there as well. Excuse me, Dillard and Cook on that play. What a gang tackle to stop that one from happening. So for the 2nd time today, we're going to end up seeing San Fran line up for a field goal. This one's a lot deeper than the last one. 50 yards is what we're looking at. Darby's got a chance. Darby's going to block that one. Super Mario has not done that the entire season, and we see Ronald Darby with a huge block that may just change the tide of this game. If you're San Fran, that takes the air out of your tires. You were already hoping for to get a touchdown with great field position. You can't do it. And then we come back here and get a major stop. But then they get a loss of about 4 on that play with the Kilgore. If you're Kavion Abbott, though, you've got one thing on your mind. That's just not throwing a pick here. You cannot afford to do that. You put your team in a bad spot last time. You got to do better. And, well, that play was just bad all around. Big 3rd down to 14 here for the Marshals. Abbott again by his lonesome. He's going to throw it up. He's got Sapp going deep. Sapp. Whoa, if we get pass interference in the defense, that'll be great. You got to love to hear that. We will accept that. It puts us down to the 18. Same guy that got a pick last drive. It's a big penalty on this drive. So all of a sudden, what would have been a punt is now really good field position for us inside the red zone. And we did nothing. Kilgore goes through the middle, drives them through, and picks up 11 on that carry. 1st and goal, still a 4-point lead right now for the Marshals. And a guy in motion in Chris Sapp. Go fake off to the running back. Dumps it out to Sapp, who immediately is gang tackled for a loss of 2. Give credit where credit is due. They have paid attention to what our play calling has been for the past couple of weeks. They knew exactly what was coming there. Smart heads-up play there by the 49ers. Abbott all by his lonesome in the backfield. He's got Colton Johnson across the middle, who is hit hard, spins back, and ladies and gentlemen, 2nd touchdown of the day for Abbott. A touchdown there for our guy Colton Johnson the 3rd. Things are looking up for the Marshals right now. This is a very, very important drive for San Fran. If they don't do anything here, we're probably going to have a long drive on our side. And they're going to be stuck just hoping they get some points on the board. And they started off strong with Laporte getting 10 yards in his carry. Great little run there by San Fran. They're back in shotgun this time. Davis is going to pay a lot of attention to Kittle here. Kittle sits on his route. This ball goes across the middle, but Sean Davis baited Hallman in. And Sean Davis is going to fumble it. We're hoping we can get a challenge on that play, but that went from really good to really bad. There is a booth review. Thank God we needed that one. Just go ahead and overturn that one. In my opinion, looking at the real speed, it looks like Sean Davis is down, but we look at it here. Yup, knees are down. Ground causes the fumble. This is going to be overturned. One more look at it right here. Again, well, that's the worst camera angle of all time. You can see his knee was down. We're good. Unreal play by Sean Davis again. It almost bit us, but it worked out at the end. Abbott again stays in shotgun here. Got his guy with a step, goes for possession catch here to Deron Sampson, who is immediately lit up right in the ribcage. That's the kind of play that you need your team to capitalize on, but unfortunately, Marshals have not been able to do that here in the 2nd quarter. Quick little underneath route. Nope. Sampson, a nice little juke move. He's going to stretch his body and gets that 1st down with about 12 yards. Kilgore, the lone guy in the backfield, a pretty heavy front right now for San Antonio. Abbott's going to hand it off. You see Kilgore go in, and I think he's okay. 2nd and 7 here. What a tackle by Blackwell. They are missing actually Fred Warner, one of their best players on their team. So that bodes well for the Marshals. What also does not bode well is Chris Sapp dropping an easy touchdown. You want that one back if you're Chris Sapp, but unfortunately you don't get it back on that one. That's just unacceptable. You got to make that play. Chris Sapp, though, gets an opportunity here to come back, and he does. Stays in bounds, gets down to the 9, and we got a new set of downs coming up. 2-minute warnings probably coming here if we get a successful play. Chris Sapp looks tired beyond belief. We're going to put him on a slant route across the middle. Abbott looks like he's got it where he wants it. He's got his guy, Cole Johnson, for the second time today. Another touchdown to Cole Johnson, the third. The young fellas are showing up big here in the playoffs. No lemon booty there for them. So San Fran has about a minute left. They've been driving down the field, and here we are trying to stop them from getting 8 points to the board. They've only had 3 so far today. They're itching for more, but it just has been their way. And Deion Dillon says it's not going to be your way at the end of this half either. To add insult to injury, there's a face mask on that play. That's going to move us up, I believe, 15 yards after what the ball was spotted at. So things are looking good. Chris Lindstrom, thank you. So with that, coach is going to go ahead and put Kilgore back there at quarterback. You already know what time it is, but there are a couple of plays we do run out of this. Sometimes he runs, sometimes he hands it off, sometimes he passes it. This time, though, Kilgore sees the edge. He likes what he's got here. One juke move's looking good. He dropped that man to his knees, and Dwayne Kilgore, the fastest player in the NFL. We'll take that. This is a rout right now. 28-3 going into halftime. You're San Fran, you're panicking right now. But hold on, San Fran's actually showing a little bit of life right now. They are only down 25, but they are at the 33-yard line. 13 seconds left. They go across the middle. That dude is lit up hard, and they have 9 seconds left with 1 timeout. They opt to actually go for the field goal. Last time from about this distance, we ended up blocking it. We'll see what we can do here. 4th and 1. A chance to block it. That one's looking a little low. I think they're firing their kicker after this game. He missed it. One more look at it here. That just, maybe he kicked the laces. I don't exactly know, but that one is a 5 yards short. No good. So going into halftime, San Fran has not had their game plan work at all. On the other side, things are working amazing for us right now. Just don't pull like a Falcons and blow a giant lead here, and I think we'll be okay. We're picking up. We have the ball here to start the second half, and again, that was a masterful performance by us. Offensively, defensively, everything was looking good, but all of a sudden, they're looking a whole lot better right now. Nick Bosa with a nice tackle in the backfield there. We got 2nd and 13 because of it. Quick blitz. We get it to Bryant. You know what? You're going to blitz. We're going to have somebody open. It's kind of wild to think about that Kavion Abbott has 3 touchdowns and only 100 yards passing in the first half. That's kind of a weird little number.
Oh, no.
Now has 2 interceptions. You hate to see it. Shout out to Blackwell. That dude's been all over the field the entirety of today's game. San Fran goes to run it again. Despite being down 25, I mean, they're committed to the running game. 2nd and 11. I got to imagine a pass is coming here. No way they go back to running it after that failed experiment last time. They go here. That's not going to work. We had about 7 dudes touch the ball, and Rudd just cannot come up with it. 3rd down and 11 here. Team looking to stop them from doing anything big. Got a guy in man-on-man coverage, but what an adjustment by number 18. That was a top-tier grab. I'm going to give him props on that one. I mean, we had Aaron Stokes in that guy. Going to get the pick. I'm blown away. That's just, again, great football by that wide receiver. 2nd and 4. Imagine the runs coming here with that heavy formation. They end up not going for that. John Davis was there. Thought he had the pick, but he ends up not getting it. 3rd down. 2 yards to go. We can get a stop. Nice little play fake by them. They bait us. Kittle's going to get that one. George Kittle, not Greg Kittle like I called him earlier. George Kittle, it's a touchdown, the first for San Fran today, and now they're going to cut the lead to 18. A lot more manageable. If we don't score on this drive, it's not the end of the world, but it also gives them a whole lot of an easier chance to try to come back here. Now all of a sudden, Kilgore says, excuse me? You said if we don't score in this drive? Coach, shut up. He's the best player on the field every single time. 1,600 yards in the regular season. In the postseason, he might run just for that many in this game. He's incredible, but you already knew that. Now, Kilgore might have put a damper on their plans right now, but they're technically not out of it just quite yet. We've obviously got a major deficit that they're working against, but they're in field goal position yet again here. But honestly, going for field goals is kind of what put them in this spot right here. Remember, we had blocked a field goal with Ronald Darby earlier. He ended up being substituted for Super Mario, and that was great. But again, they need touchdowns, not field goals right now to have any chance to come back. Got a big 3rd down and 2 coming up here. Go for that one. I mean, great awareness by this running back. He's shifty, he's moving all over, and he's got 80 yards against us so far. Look, we've honestly done a pretty good job all season of holding running backs and not having an insane amount against us, but Laporte has got his due so far today. We've stopped him in the backfield a couple of times, yeah, but he's finding ways to get 3, 4, 5, and then a 15 or so every once in a while. But the more they run the ball, maybe they're getting yards here and there, but it honestly kind of works out in our best benefit because they're messing up.
Nope.
Because they're taking too much time off the clock. Great sack there by Dillard. Great recovery, though, by Laporte. Here we go. This is a big play. 3rd and 11. We got Davis patrolling most of the middle here. They go for it. He's on the tackle, and now they got a decision from the 12. They are actually going to go and take the field goal. This puts them down 22. So, again, a little bit of a weird scenario here. They're going to kick it. They get it. They're down 22. I don't necessarily agree with that, but you got to get points where you can, I guess. I mean, obviously, where you look at what our defense has done against them or what our offense has done against them, I don't think I would trust their defense against our offense right now. We've been pretty electric the entirety of the game. A lot of runs planned for this drive here. 3rd quarter's about to wind down. Abbott's doing one final play of the quarter. Giving it to Kilgore, who's got some room here. Kilgore's going to make some room, cuts back, and he gets into the 44. That is not what we want to see. Dwayne Kilgore is writhing in pain, holding his back, and our workhorse is down. Oh, he's going to the locker room. This is not good. This could not come at a worse time for right now for the Marshals. So in comes Derek Thomas, a guy that we relied on last year in our run through the playoffs, but we are going to miss that speed of Kilgore. And then Thomas fumbles. You want to talk about bad look on back-to-back plays? That's a bad look. We find out, though, that Kilgore has a lower back strain, will not be able to return to this game. That's fine. Come back in the future. We don't need you today. We'll need you next week, though. Again, the defense isn't quite out of it yet. Our offense is going to slow down a lot. We can't really rely on the run game like we have been with the speed of Kilgore. We basically need to make something happen big time right now. Now, a nice little tackle out of the backfield there by Cody Barton stops him after about 2. What would be amazing, though, is our defense would actually get a turnover right here. Inching the line some. No pressure on that quarterback, and they pick up another first down across the middle. All of the momentum in the game right now is in San Antonio's favor. They injured our best player. They've got a fumble recovery, and now they're in scoring territory yet again. If they don't get a touchdown, it doesn't really matter right now. Under 7 minutes left. Dillard again. Itching to get into the backfield. Tries to find his way through. Darby, though, gets the tackle on big 89. 2nd and 9. Laporte in the backfield with Holman. Davis looking to get in there. Davis has a little bit of pressure. Can't quite get where he wants. Callaway's going to try to get the tackle. Stokes goes in. We finally get Taylor Rapp to make the tackle. This quarterback is throwing the football in very, very tight windows right now. I'm impressed. Somehow it's working, but I feel like a turnover is coming for them if they keep trying that. Go up the middle with the run. They pick up about 5 on that carry. 2nd and 5. No, they're not okay. I mean, they're okay with running the ball right now. We're not okay with that because they're killing us on the ground. They go back to it here, but Sean Davis says, not so fast, young fella. Now things are interesting. It's 3rd and 3. Again, they've been running it a lot. They're using so much time off the clock. This is the playoffs. You should be passing the football right now. If they keep opt to running it, it's not working at all. So again, they should have been passing the whole time. Now they're finally going to it. They have a 4th down and 4 coming up. Beautiful throw. Beautiful route. And now there's a slight cause for concern right now if you're San Antonio. And like we imagine they would, and like they should, they're going for 2 right here. We're actually going to fake blitz Taylor Rapp and play that slant. Did anyone remember that George Kittle's a football player? We're down 14 with 4 minutes left. And we're going with our best player. Okay. So as much as I would love to be pass happy here, I know that we need to chew a little bit of clock. They need to score twice with a little bit of time left on the clock. And our run game is non-existent right now. We're in trouble. First run by Thomas. This drive, at least, not so great. Let's see what he does here for a second. He's averaging 1 yard per carry at the moment. Trying to get him out to the edge. Okay, Thomas. Okay. I'll take the 9 yards. That's big. That's major right there. 3rd and 1. A little over a minute outside of the 2-minute warning right now. This is big. We get this first down, they're going to start panicking. Thomas goes right up the middle. I don't know how they didn't expect that one, and we finally get that conversion we needed. Okay, so Thomas was a little bit rusty, but now he's starting to look like the guy that we needed him to look like. The guy that we saw last season that dominated for us all year long. Finds a big gap again. Offensive line, thank you for blocking. We just needed a little extra boost. He's a little slower. You're good now. You're good. 2-minute warning is here. Thomas, again, is the main driver right now for keeping this drive alive. Finding some room again. Thomas goes up the middle for 7 big yards, and they use their first timeout. We've really not had a lot of passing yards today. It has been the run game from Kilgore, and now Thomas obviously has carried us pretty much the entire afternoon. Thomas tries to go up the middle, though. There's not a lot of blocking, and we lose a yard. Going to 3rd and 2. San Fran has one final timeout with 1:53 left. Abbott's going to hand it off. Thomas tries to find some room here. Thomas is going to push his way through. They're trying to knock it out, and he is going to somehow stay up, get the first down, and make them use their final timeout. We've given this man the ball so much. His stamina is so much better than Kilgore. It's kind of wild. He's not as electric, but I mean, that dude can just carry the rock like nobody else in the team. 1:10 left, and winding that clock down a little bit. Trying to do what we can possibly do here to make as much noise as possible and get that time to evaporate. 3rd and 6, looking at the final play coming up right here. Hand off here to Thomas. Thomas finding some room. Thomas gets that final first down. Ladies and gentlemen, the Marshals are going to advance. So it was a blowout, and then it wasn't, but a major injury scare ultimately isn't as bad as we thought. A lower back strain for Kilgore. We got to be careful how we use him next week, but for now, he's coming back. Thomas is okay, but we need Kilgore sooner rather than later. So looking up his stats, Brandon Hallman for them had 179 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 pick. Abbott had a really weird game, 9 of 15, 100 yards, 3 touchdowns passing, 2 interceptions passing as well. Again, not a great stat line, a really low number of yards, and it scared me, but he got the job done today. Mustafa Laporte came out for 93 yards today, but no touchdowns. Kilgore, 12 attempts, 175 on the ground, and 2 touchdowns. That's all great until he got injured. But shout out to Derek Thomas. His first 2 carries were terrible, but after that, the kid stepped up. The fumble was bad. He was terrible after that. But then, 11 for 56, I'll take that even if Kilgore couldn't come back next week. Thomas, with that number, can get the job done. In the air, Deshaun Henry led everybody with 5 grabs and 43 yards. Chris Sapp, 4 for 36 and 1 touchdown. We also saw George Kittle ball out with a touchdown as well. Colton Johnson, though, 2 big touchdowns for him on 3 grabs. Again, not a lot of volume, but the touchdowns are what matter. While typically it's Sean Davis that leads us in tackles, it was Dion Dillard today with 10 total tackles, 2 of those being for loss, 1 pick and 1 interception. He's got to get the player of the game on the defensive side, though. Sean Davis, 9 tackles, 1 for loss, no sacks, no interceptions. Jermaine Cook, 3 big tackles for loss today, plus a sack. You got to love how our main guys played. From our linebacking core overall, they're incredible. After the game, we got 2 guys to upgrade. First being Elliott Westfield. Again, this dude has been a baller for us since we drafted him, and he's not even been in the league that long. 3 years, and he's up to a 92 overall with his morale boost. We're going to upgrade his agile part of his game right here, so we're going to get a lot of attribute boosts here. Plus 2 to awareness, plus 1 to lead block, pass block, finesse, and run block. That's a W. And the other guy was the player of the game in Dion Dillard, so we're going to upgrade his field general status. He's at with 77 overall. Again, he played lights out today. Plus 1 to pursuit, plus 2 to tackle. Again, a W all around. So the divisional rounds of the playoffs started out with a blowout, and then we got a little bit of lemon booty because they brought it back fairly close. But our team did what they had to do. They balled out, they locked up, the running game got it going despite an injury. Kilgore should be back next week, and we'll be playing for the NFC Conference Championship. You win that game, you're off to the Super Bowl, but we can't look too far ahead. Keep our guys healthy, keep our guys focused, and keep that mission going. Because that Lombardi is what we ultimately want, but it's 1 game at a time here for San Antonio.